All right, we're 2 minutes into the session. I think that's a good amount of time to wait. So if we have any folks who join in, that's great as well. So thanks everybody for joining us on our webinar today. Really glad you could join us as well. We're really excited about today's session. We're looking at onshore recruitment in Canada, the hidden market in your backyard. So just on the next slide, just want to do a quick round of intros for our kind of speakers today. So we have Amy Ma, who's the Senior Manager of Onshore Student Recruitment for our Canada team. We're also fortunate to be joined by our partner institution, Georgian College. So we have Lily Lee, who's the Manager of Onshore Recruitment and Strategy. And we also have Nana Okamoto, who's the International Recruitment Officer. My name is Prem Mota. I'm the Associate Head of Client Partnerships and Special Projects for IDP Connect Canada. So I'm going to do a quick overview of IDP, just some of our services and strategic solution. I'm then going to hand it over to Amy, who's going to walk through onshore specifically, and then we have a bit of a Q&A panel discussion as well. So we really recommend if you have questions to use the Q&A or the chat function. We'll be monitoring those in real time. See Jade saying hello. Hello, Jade. If you want to send out shout outs, we're happy as well. So feel free to send the questions and the comments coming through. We'll be reviewing those. At the end, we have a bit of a panel discussion. So starting off, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to kind of introduce you to IDP Connect. So we are a student-first organization. And what that means is that our counselors are all IDP counselors. They're commission blind, so there's no oversight or push towards one institution over another because the counselor is going to get more commission versus another. So we really make sure that the student is first in all the work that we do with them. We have a very high referral rate of 1-to-1 students recommending parents or friends to IDPs. We're very, very, very proud of that high recognition and sort of referral rate as well. We have an unmatched global scale, so we operate in 35 countries. We have over 200 offices, and as of January 30th of this past year, we had placed 84,000 students globally. So if you hear us talking about sort of the IDP network or IDP counseling network, this is what we mean. It's our bricks and mortars offices in country. So many of you may have visited these countries or offices previously, or we're happy to connect you with them moving forward as well. We also have a very large digital presence through our connected platform of 40 websites. We have 100 million site visits per year on these sites, and the IDP Live has over 1.4 million downloads. You might have seen recently this year as well, we've also purchased the Ambassador platform, or TAP. So it's another way that we can increase our digital presence, connecting students with your current ambassadors or connecting students with your institution sooner in their decision-making process. Lastly, we're always looking at ways to innovate. A great example of this is our Fast Lane offer and principal services, where we're looking to work with institutions to pre-vet applications, to reduce the total number of applications, increase conversion rates, and create more trust in the process for our students and our partner institutions as well. Moving on to the next slide, we're just taking a look at sort of the 3 strategic solutions in which we operate or work with institutions. Some partners might work with all 3, some might have 2, maybe just 1 for a few of those as well. But what we look to do for intelligence is taking a look at the web traffic that we have against our sites. The 100 million site visits, we're able to mine that data to look at student demand by country, city, program level, subdiscipline, subject level, and really provide evidence-based decision-making opportunities to institutions to make sure they have the latest information to help them in their marketing and recruitment as well. Through our marketing services, we're able to raise awareness of the institution in either key or emerging markets, and really connecting the student with your institution sooner in their decision-making process. We see some students are looking at about 36 months in before their start date, they're doing research as well. So really want to connect institutions with students much sooner in that journey. And then the third bucket or strategic solution would be recruitment. So again, our on-the-ground network of IDP counselors working with students aided by technology to increase application conversion rates and students and enrollments as well. Moving to the next slide, we just have a quick example of how institutions may work with us. So when we speak to a lot of our partner institutions, diversity often comes up pretty often. So I'm sure a lot of institutions in the room here today would sort of have that same area as well. So when we work with clients on diversification issues, we first want to make sure that they have enough data to support their engagement either in recruitment or marketing as well. So using that data to make evidence-based decision makings to find out where those student pockets are that are good fits for their institution in terms of study level or even program as well. Through our digital marketing platforms, we can raise awareness of the institution in markets where you might be heavily engaged or looking to engage into as well. We can then also optimize some conversions through Fastlane. We can reduce the total number of applications by increasing conversion rates and providing more trust in the process for both partner institutions and students. And then we can also track and convert sort of where our lead sources are coming from. Is it a digital marketing lead? Is it a student who's come into our office? And then we can provide a lot of reporting in terms of application and enrollments as well. The image here gives us a quick overview. Sorry, Emma, if you can just go back. Gives us a quick overview of our IDP network. So the 35 countries in which we operate listed there in orange, and then the yellow countries are our destination countries as well. So Canada, US, Ireland, UK, Australia, and New Zealand are the countries to which we are sending students, and then a wide range of student markets in which we operate physical offices. So last slide for me on the next one is just looking at the outcomes for institutions or the student and client journeys as well. So combining all three of those solutions for the student, what they're able to do is discover and search your institution at their discovery phase and find out more information. They can generate a lead to connect with either you or our counseling teams. Our IDP counselors will then assist them through the application process, the acceptance, submitting documents, and then the pre-departure as well. So preparing them to go into market or into country as well. For the clients, we're able to help them plan through evidence-based decision-making through real-time data. We can increase market awareness or awareness in markets through marketing solutions. And then lastly, we can help recruit and convert leads to applications and into enrollments through our IDP network of offices. So this is a great segue for me to hand it over to Amy, who's going to walk you through the onshore team's opportunities, advantages, results, and best practices as well. And again, really recommend using the Q&A or the chat function to put some questions into the system. We'll be receiving those, and then we have a panel discussion after Amy's portion here. So I'll hand it over to Amy.
Thanks, Bram. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. My name is Amy. I am the Senior Manager of Onshore Recruitment at IDP Canada. So very nice to meet you today, and I look forward to our discussion today. So I guess let's meet our team first. So this is the team. This is a picture, actually one of my favorite pictures. We took it in the Central Island in Toronto, and we actually had our first amazing race, the Canada version, and lots of kayaking, lots of canoeing, and lots of fun on the day. And it's indeed a great way to celebrate the success of last year and also the start of the new fiscal year on a team. So everybody knows that IDP has been in business for a long time, over 50 years, but our Canadian student counseling team only started helping students in 2019, just right before COVID. So that is why many of you on this call probably have never heard of us. That's fine. So you now know us now. So since then, we've helped over 3,000 students that's coming from 69 countries of origin enrolled in the program in Canada. Although our team and although our team is new, our counselors are not. We have over 100 years of combined student counseling experience among the team, which we gained from working in both educational institutions and also the top counseling agencies around the world, including IDP's offices in India, China, Taiwan, Cambodia, Philippines, and Vietnam, and many others. So now we started very small in Toronto with only 5 people. But now, after 5 years, we have 4 offices in Canada, 14 marketers, 16 counseling staff, which we just saw in the picture, and the team can speak 13 different languages, including English, and we helped many students over the past few years from different countries. So very, very proud to work with such a dynamic team and also witness that the support that we're able to give to many of the students. So moving to the next slide, it's about today's agenda. So what I'm going to do is take you through the market overview of Onshore, and we will have this bit of discussion about the market opportunities, and then we'll show you, what we have achieved and what we can do for you, and then we come to our panel discussion. So the student journey, our global research team have done amazing job serving over 10,000 students over the past few years about onshore and offshore students. So this slide is about offshore students coming from their home country to their destination country. Essentially, there are 8 stages. I think Prem also mentioned about this earlier. And the thing is about offshore students is it takes pretty long. And altogether, from they have the idea of studying abroad to they actually getting the student visa, usually will take about 2 years. While on the different side, if you look at the journey of the onshore students in the next slide, you'll see the biggest difference is the time. Usually from the beginning of the idea of studying for a second program in Canada to the study permit extension, it usually takes about just a few weeks to 2 months to complete the entire process. So what that mean? It means the opportunity window for us is very shortened and condensed. And because of the other commitments the students have, aside from work, aside from study, for example, part-time jobs, internships, and other things to deal with the life in Canada, they do not really have the urgency to apply early, which we continue to educate them. But still, that really means the students have very limited, window of opportunity when it comes to a second program application. That also means we really have to work very fast and efficiently to help those students. So, and if you look at that too, look at this slide too, there are some stages that are no longer relevant to onshore students. For example, awareness. Awareness doesn't apply anymore because students have already been on the journey and they're already part of it. And also, other things, arrive, of course, they have already been in the country, doesn't really, apply to them anymore. So moving to the next slide. So we know now how the onshore students behave. And when we look at the market itself, and we realize actually how big the market is. So according to the RICC data in 2022, there are around 220,000 students that have extended the study permit in Canada. So that's exactly the audience that we have, with onshore students who have valid study permit already in Canada, who are looking for a second program. So what kind of programs they're looking for? There are students that are currently in the ESL program, looking for further their study to an academic program. High school graduates looking for a post-secondary education in Canada to college and university. And college students who finish up, a 1-year postgraduate certificate or 2-year diploma or 3-year advanced diploma program to another college or upgrade to a university degree. Or university students, graduates looking for a certificate to enhance their employment skills. And note, in the last 2 sessions, it also happens between private colleges to public colleges and private universities to public institutions. So to summarize, the reasons for the students, who wants to have a second program, they just feel, right? A lot of people are having academic aspirations. They want to do more, further their study. And many people are looking for a career change. Simply, they want to do something different in the future jobs. And also someone who wants to change for a different city for more affordable housing. They simply want to stay with the family and the friends closer. And many students are trying to fulfill their immigration, aspirations by studying for a second program, by staying in the city or in a province where they're able to have a better access to immigration in the future. So it is a big market. And what we do is we listened and we talked and collaborated with many of our schools and clients to understand their pain points and also trying our best to provide a solution. So what exactly our schools have told us? First, the school told us, the international student applications are great, but it would be better if the conversion to enrollment was higher. Second, there isn't always a great students program fit with international students, and this negatively impacts retention. Third, the international student body is not as diverse as they'd like. Number 4, onshore agents, really. We heard a lot of stories about onshore agents and why. And because we know some of them behave, either like competitors and also some even with questionable tactics. So we're going to go through this one by one. Firstly, let's talk about enrollment. So IDP Canada, we lead the industry in converting applications to enrollment. So if you look at offshore students market, because of the various reasons, including the study permit, student visa, so the conversion into enrollment usually is pretty low. It's around 30, even lower. And our counterparts in the onshore market usually is around 50%. And our team in general, it's about 67% into enrollment. But with last minute opportunities and applications, this usually can be as high as 90%. So you may ask me why? Why is that? What is the secret of this? First of all, is because we have a very diverse source of engaged students. Word of mouth is always the best, the referrals. So we have the highest student satisfaction as the IDP's network, leading to 8 out of 10 students referring friends and family to IDP Canada. And we also have implemented an inbound marketing strategy so that we were able to have a very rich pipeline. So the difference between the inbound marketing versus outbound is we are able to create meaningful and valuable content so that we're able to attract students organically to our site to talk to our students, talk to our counselors and ask questions instead of cold calling students for someone who actually don't need our service. And also the marketing team that we have, they are just really the heroes behind the scene. So we have 14 members of digital marketing veterans assembled from the highly competitive industry of digital first industries. So last minute campaigns are only possible because of that. Secondly, you're talking about marketing, is our marketing team are very responsive and collaborative. And we're able to launch institution-specific omni-channel campaigns under 24 to 48 hours. And some exclusive campaigns only are available in onshore. For example, last-minute seats, diversity campaigns, and time-limited discounts and promotional pricing campaigns. And we work directly with clients to tailor their recruitment needs. And the third thing about onshore students and recruitment is really about the stress-free study permit extension. So everybody knows that the offshore market students, usually it takes about on average 10 weeks processing time to get a student visa. And the approval rates are ranging widely between 34% to the north of 90% based on the country of origin. And the onshore, we don't really have such challenge. It's basically 100, usually it's 100% approval rate if everything is done correctly. And so that's really about the source of the students. And then next one is, about the students' engagement and retention. When students are happy and informed all the options, they will be very engaged and retained, and they will stay longer. So 92% of our students who we helped can get into the first choice of the program. And why is that? So first of all, we know the Canadian market. Our destination manager work one-on-one with our schools, so we're always fully informed of their needs. Number two, our counselors attend monthly 3 trainings sessions with schools so they can better counsel our students. And then we're also because we're in Canada, we're able to regularly attend schools fairs and visit campuses to understand schools' daily lived experience. We take counseling seriously. So that's really, I think, what sends us from other of the agencies. So our counseling includes 6 formal sessions to get to know the student, their goals, and build a personalized plan. Formal sessions are supported by the regular informal contact by phone, Zoom calls, WhatsApp, WeChat as student need. And students always come first. As also mentioned by Prem, there's no incentive plan in any form to place students into any specific schools. So whenever they, we always place students to the best fit schools and programs. Lastly, everything is made easy. Students are connected with our counselor, usually under 24 hours or less. And we offer virtual and in-person counseling in 4 locations across Canada. And our IDP Live Fast Lane, the feature of Fast Lane, only made this even more easier to get offer easier and also to talk to our counselors more easier. And we would work with schools directly to solve the problems whenever that we have any issue during the application process. So moving to the next piece is diversity. Everybody talks about diversity in Canada. We do know, and we are also trying to offer our solution to that. So we deliver diversity in both country of origin and area of academic interest. So in the past few years, we've helped students from 69 countries of origin since we started. And the actual representation could be larger. It's because our system has also grown, improved a lot in the past few years, that we are able to capture the nationality of the students in an accurate way. And over the past few years, we also witnessed the growth of the applications to the non-traditional niche programs for international students. The collective growth, year-over-year growth, is 410%. So those, non-traditional programs like, data science, urban planning, environmental science, this type of niche programs, and definitely it's on the rise with our students. So moving next slide, we talk about why and what we've done. So a good diversity marketing strategy is always the key to help us to drive diversity students. So Canada's multiculturalism makeup really allows us to draw interest from students from numerous nationalities. And we also target niche platforms to first inform the students, then convert non-traditional prospects. The niche programs, something like, the Red, for example, the Little Red Book for the Chinese students. And there's also a Korean community that we also target through our marketing. So lots of niche programs we're experimenting nowadays. And also as an independent source of critical information for international students, we organically attract students, eyeballs and consideration. Secondly, it's about a team. Our team was built for diversity. They come from 8 different countries and can speak 13 different languages. And we continue to hire purposely to serve a diverse students body. And many of the counselors were international students before themselves, and they're able to really help the students feel at ease and feel supported. And the recent partnership that we have with LinkedIn really helped us to use their talent insight tool to get data and insights of the hiring trend and the market demands, which allows our counselors to present options students would not have otherwise considered. And also because of the multi-step counseling process, we're really able to understand the students' goals and help them to explore different options at different schools and programs in different cities. So yes, that's really about how we are able to achieve the diversity that we have, from the onshore market. And lastly, I would like to talk about the agents. I know there has been lots and lots of discussions about agents in Canada and some, bad behaviors that we're seeing in the market. So there are lots of good reasons why institutions don't want to work with agents onshore, but they do want to work with us. Firstly, I heard a lot of stories about how the onshore agents poach students upon their arrival. Someone, just waiting in the cafeteria of the school, and somebody also are waiting, trying to pick up students from the airport directly. But it would never happen. It has never happened with IDP Canada, and it will never happen. Because of the inbound marketing strategy that I mentioned earlier, students find us when they are about to finish the program. And also as a principal, we never poach students ourselves. Number 2 is some of them, many of them, don't act in good faith. Some people just place the students in one program. After one semester, they promote another program, and then hoping to get a second commission from the students. So at IDP Canada, what we do is, statistically, 79% of students working with our team right now that have never worked with IDP, either IDP Canada or elsewhere in the past. Number 2, our internal system and database is segmented that we cannot promote opportunities to the current enrolled students. And the third thing that we also observe is, some of them, actually many of them, focus on commission and not the best interest of the students. While in our case, our counselors do not have visibility on commission at all. And we place students to the best fit schools and program, regardless of the client status with IDP. So what it means? It means, so our counselors are not evaluated by any type of revenue they generate. So they're only evaluated by the happy students they're able to enroll and retain in the school. And also, for another case is, if the students is a really good fit for a school that is not currently an IDP client, we will still help the students apply and help them enroll, because that is simply the best fit for the students. Lastly, there also, you will notice that some agencies are doing hidden fees, and there's some payment issues. That's, again, not something that IDP Canada Onshore team would do. We deliver completely, transparency with cost transparency, and we collect no money from the students. Everything that students pay or making transactions will be with the institutions or government agencies directly. So I guess that brings the end of my presentation today. But yeah, so for any other questions, we can definitely discuss in this call, or if you have more questions, you can also reach out to me directly through this email. So I'll hand this over to Prem again.
Great, thank you, Amy, and really appreciate the insights and sort of just overview of the team and working with students as well. And I think that last slide is really helpful in terms of the misconceptions sort of in the market about poaching and sort of all those kind of horror stories that we do tend to hear. So right now, what we're going to do is transition a little bit into the Q&A panel discussion. But before we do that, just wanted to give Nana and Lily a quick opportunity to just kind of provide a brief overview of their work with Onshore and their kind of engagement with Amy and her team moving forward. And then we do have some questions that came through as we were receiving registrations for the webinar. But again, please use the Q&A section, and we're happy to field questions. So off to Lily and Nana.
Hey everyone, my name is Lily. I've been working for Georgian College over 17 years. So yeah, I do witness the development of our onshore team since 2016. Just as Amy mentioned, that how we started this onshore recruiting activities back in 2016, it was because our student got approached at airport and picked up by some agents and then transferred them to other school or other even private colleges right at airport. And also we did run into the situation, we had agents sitting in our cafeteria and approaching our students on campus and convince them to transfer to another college. That was a history, and we did witness that. And at that time we were just curious, like where are those agents from and why they're doing that? And we try to understand the market then. And also at that time we attended high school fairs with our domestic team, traveling to different high schools and to meet students over there. And we have the first project started in 2016. It's even not called Onshore. It's called GTA Marketing Campaign. I still remember that I initiated that project, and we started from 2016. Then when IDP started this onshore team back in 2019, we really find a good match because we are focusing on GTA marketing, and IDP and just started this onshore team, and we just feel like, oh, that's a great opportunity that we work together. So since then we are here like almost 4 years already. So it's a great honor that we can join this webinar today and working with Amy's IDP onshore team. It's a great experience for us, and we really appreciate that. Yeah. So Nana.
I think Lily shared all the information about Georgian College, so I'm going to just quickly introduce myself. My name is Okamoto. I'm an International Recruitment Officer onshore, so my focus is mainly student currently in Canada. I help them with application agency, with application and everything. Yes, I actually recently started working at Georgian College. However, I was an actual student at Georgian College. I took EAP program and the business marketing diploma program. And I really loved my experience at Georgian College. And hopefully today I can share some information, because I have a firsthand experience as an international student at Georgian College. And prior to this role, I worked at the agency. So hopefully I can share some perspective from student perspective, agency perspective, and now as a recruiter from the Georgian College. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Lily and Nana. So we just had a question come through from the audience. Sorry, this question is two-parter. What are some trends you are seeing coming out of the pandemic? Do different regions have different strategies in terms of how you engage with students?
That's a question for Ami, I guess.
Is it a question for me? Different.
Yeah, to the group, but maybe if you wanted to start us off.
Yeah, I think overall the onshore students, regardless where they're from, they just tend to be like very quick in the decision making process. So like I said in my presentation, the opportunity window for schools and also for agencies like us, very, very short, very condensed, because of their, they have lots of other commitment in life in Canada. So and also there's no stress about study permit extension at all. So we try to educate them, you actually should apply early if you really want to study a second program, because a lot of good programs are closing so quickly. But usually they do not have the sense of urgency, I think in general. And also one of the things that I also noticed that some of the schools actually started to make the enrollment plan dedicated for onshore students recently. So some of the schools actually are trying to, kind of relocate, so to speak, relocate a few resources and even seats for the students, because they know and understand the nature of the onshore students. I think that's sort of underlying, feature of the onshore student overall. And the other thing is, after pandemic, many, many more students are coming to Canada. Canada has been, probably the most popular destination country, for international students. So we are also seeing many, many more, students from different countries around the world. So that also adds to the diversity of the enrollment and the students' body on a campus in Canada, which is a good thing. I think we'll continue to, work on that and also continue to bring more diversity to the campus. Yeah.
Yeah, add to Ami's point, what we notice is a trend after COVID is we do see an increasing number of students applying, trying to convert from visitor visa to study permit. It's not only like student already here or with a study permit holder. We do see increasing number, it's a significant number of visitor visa trying to convert, and they are seeking services in the market. They need agent to help them, and with their visa application as well. That's the trend, because as a college, we cannot help them before they enroll as a full-time student. So we've been getting inquiries from the market about this. Yeah, that's a trend we noticed.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Lily. I just wanted to add that point too. For visitor students, a lot of students are, from certain countries, they're not easily getting the student visa from the home country. So that's why they wanted to kind of land to Canada first and see how it goes. So that's why, I know a lot of immigration agencies actually play a really important part into this. They're really helping the students to, convert the visitor visa status to a study permit students visa in the end. So I think that is also why IDP started the immigrations to have the immigration partner, a trusted immigrant partner, early this year. So we are also trying to help students with the immigration pathway, and also including different kinds of visa services, and really make sure that we have a trusted partner and we're able to do the right work for our students. Yeah.
And follow up too for that question, just thinking the trends coming out of the pandemic, any shift towards sort of more rural, smaller city centers, more assistance for potentially housing, or maybe getting away into maybe outside of GTA, maybe outside of Vancouver, large populous areas?
Yeah, I think that's also something that we noticed, and especially in this year, because the big cities, especially GTA, the GTA, especially in Toronto, are very much saturated, and and also it's so expensive, and many more students are actually moving out of GTA, so they're looking either for more affordable living and also a better opportunity for immigration in the future. So they're looking beyond GTA nowadays, and some of the provinces even, I think Alberta is a good example. We've seen lots, like many more, students actually moving out of Ontario entirely, or moving out of BC entirely, looking for new opportunities.
Yeah, from the institution perspective, we do see students applying to not only to Barrie campus, but they are looking into like Owen Sound, Aurelia, like more suburban area. And of course, there's, because some of our program are in those campus, and also living cost is another consideration. So we do see that trend too.
So bringing on to the next question was, I think more geared towards Amy. What resources do you offer students who may be great academically, but lacking in the English language proficiency?
Yeah, so we do have students that, English is, on paper, they've got a great English skills, like great marks, like 9 or like 7, 8 in IELTS, but academically, they're actually not proficient at all. So what we usually do, again, based on the students' qualification and also their requirement and interest, we recommend a few programs, and we also would ask a very honest question of the students, to assess their English ability. So if we do see, especially our counselors do see, there will be potentially a barrier for the students, to have, to be successful academically, we actually would recommend supplementary English courses for them, not entirely based on the paper of the English scores, but really to understand the students, if they are really going to be successful academically. So we do have quite a few, partners who are actually focusing on that. So we recommend those kind of programs to enhance students, and also more than often in between the in the gap between the first program and second program, if there's any time in between 1 month, even 2 months, we would recommend students to do that. And also a part-time, being a full-time students, we also would recommend that. Another thing is, aside from the regular counseling, we also do lots of activities. We call it Arrive and Thrive activities to help students really to be successful in Canada. Some of the things including, like you mentioned, the question said, how to really be successful in the academic setting. And we also helping students to, find different ways to build their resumes, and also help them to be successful in the future in the job market too.
Thanks, Amy. So this question just says, geared towards IDP Canada, but I think Georgian, Lily, and Donna might be able to answer as well. So does IDP Canada work with many students coming directly out of secondary school, or more students who are already studying post-secondary? So maybe Amy, if you wanted to share sort of demographics of students you're seeing, and then if Nana and Lily, if you wanted to add sort of strategies you're working with either for post-secondary students or students coming out of secondary.
Right. So like for us, the past 5 years is a little bit unique because 3 of them were in pandemic. So majority of the students actually at that time are already in the post-secondary, setting, and they're either looking for a a different program or career change or immigration purpose for different reasons. So for the first 5 years, majority of students are already in that setting and they're looking for a second post-secondary. But we realize the opportunity of the increasing K-12 students in Canada coming from, especially coming from China, Japan, a lot of other Asian countries. We realize this is a great opportunity, and we are looking to expand and grow this market in the next 5 years. So hoping to really to get a really grasp of the market for the K-12 students. So yes, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Okay, for Georgian, majority of our onshore students actually are our own student, like students who are in our postgraduate certificate program. They only has 1 year study here, and they have 1 year experience, and they need 1 more year to be eligible for 3-year work permit. So as I would say, over 50% of the onshore students actually are our students on campus already. As a current student, we provide service to guide them to apply for the second program. I believe that applies to most of the college if they have 1-year program. And it's just we provide the service on campus. So it's very convenient for students and to start planning their second program when they just start their first semester of the first program. So that's a majority of our onshore students. And then we do have students from high school, from language school, and we do have some visiting parents here. Their kids are studying here, and they look into our program and they are interested. So many of them are in the community already, but they are, visiting, and they just figured out this is at their age they like to stay with their kids and they want to study here. And we do see students from university for many reasons. If you see a country, the currency suddenly dropped, then you see the number of students applying to college from university increase. It's because they have to consider the tuition fee. I know we do have some, friends from universities here. The college, the tuition fees is only like less than $20,000. So for example, the 1-year tuition fee at Toronto University is enough to cover the 3-year tuition fee here. So students, when they face they are having this financial challenge, they do start planning, and when you see the big change in one country's currency, then you see the number of students from that trend. And we also have students from I would say from other college or from GTA to they are looking for cheaper living cost, and also some special programs we don't, they don't get into in GTA. That's a major trend we do notice. Yeah.
I guess just a good follow-up on that. We had a question come through as well, saying like in your experience, which sectors do onshore students mostly apply? So would it be diploma, certificate, undergrad, graduate? Maybe Lily and Nana, if you want to field that, and then Amy as well.
We do see postgraduate as our number one, that 1-year short program. This mainly for a student in Canada looking for a 2nd-year program. And I believe Nana is at the front line, and she also has some experience there.
Yeah, I would say mostly students is looking for postgraduate certificate program. Sorry. Yeah, I would say like student is already studying postgraduate in another institution, and either they want to transfer, or like Lily said, student is already studying a Georgian 1-year program and that they want to extend their study another year so that they can get 3 years of work permit.
I think in our case, I would say the same for a number of reasons. One, students definitely, if they're looking for a very quick, quick way to achieve their PGWP, they always need a 1+1 sort of pathway to achieve that, and that's easy. And number two is, for people who want to pick up a new skill, practical skill, the 1-year certificate is always the best way to do that too. It's short and gives you enough, learning to have a different skill for employment in the future. And also, it's really can, package differently, with university students, college students, private, public, even high school students, they could do that too, right? For some just certificate programs. So it's very, very flexible with this 1-year certificate program, either undergraduate or postgraduate. I think that is one of the reasons why they're so popular among onshore students. Yeah, I would say so. But in our case, also the 2-year diploma, it's been increasing year over year because we also see some of the students, high school students, they want to do the 2-year diploma first for the also again the affordability, and then they move forward to the university degree in the 3rd year and 4th year. So that's also the trend we're seeing, and more students and parents are very much practical in that sense. This is also something that we're seeing that's increasing.
Okay. And Amy, just going back to your previous comment, we had a question here as well for onshore market. Do you see recovering signs in terms of international student numbers in high schools? I know you mentioned you're seeing a lot of traffic coming into China or from China as well, but any other markets or any sort of large recovery signs that you're seeing either through your work with the onshore team, or either Lily or Nana through your initiatives as well?
The high school market, right? Yeah, majority of China is definitely still the #1 source of the high school students in here. I think second probably would be Korean students, South Korean students, that we also see lots of the Korean students, younger students here. And recently, younger students, I think from Japan. I think Lily also mentioned the other day when we discussed from Japan as well. A lot of East Asian countries, that's younger students. And also, I think in particular in the West Coast, there are lots of exchange students from Europe that's coming to Canada. For those students, they may not necessarily would stay for the post-secondary education, but there's always a chance. They kind of here for the 1 experience. Some of them would stay, some of them would not. But we do see, I think, lots of students from Germany, for example, from Europe, especially Germany, and coming to Canada to study. I think those are the the diversity we see in the high school students too. But again, in recent years, because lots of parents from India, from South Asia, they're coming to Canada to for a post-secondary education. Usually they would bring the kids. If the kids are old enough, they usually will just enroll the kids into the secondary school, and that also they will need a study permit for that. But I guess for that type of students, usually when they apply for the post-secondary, it's when the parents usually would get PR by the time. So then this type of students, I don't think it will be the market that we're looking at.
Yeah, for Georgian, it's interesting that most of the high school students we recruited are from our school board, Simcoe School Board, because they are here and they know the neighborhood, and they've been living with a homestay family, and they chose to stay. So that's many of our high school students actually from local school board. And we do get some inquiries from other region of Ontario, but they come from our domestic recruiting team who did the promotion in those school board, and they got inquiries and they passed those inquiries to us. That's how we got high school. And also we work with private high schools in GTA, but not many applications from GTA. Yeah, that's our number.
Question here from Prakash. We might take this offline. I might send it to Amy to follow up with, but basically just asking about how IDP helps with students that might have expired permits Students doing, say, PG diploma, they forget to renew, and now they have an expired permit. Are they able to receive offer letters from college with an expired study permit to apply to a new one? So I think what we'll do, Prakash, is we'll take this question offline. We'll follow up with an email and get back to you. Myself and Amy will reach out to you on that one as well. On the next question, I think this is for Amy. It said, in your presentation, you mentioned marketing occurs in, quote, niche platforms. Can you explain a little bit more what kind of platforms? I know you mentioned LinkedIn, but if there's any more insight you can provide.
Yes, so we recently are experimenting the Red. The Red, it's literally translation is a Little Red Book. It's a combination of Instagram, Facebook, and WeChat that Chinese people are using nowadays. It's very, very fascinating. So lots of we're experimenting a lot of things and trying to post ads in this platform. And in the initial learnings that we found, it's actually pretty effective. I'm not the best person to talk about marketing, but I know there's some other technical terms to explain that. It's basically when you are reading the post and they could sort of memorize your habit, and then they will just keep pushing you lots of similar content, and then the readership of that post actually will increase significantly if you are able to continue to create meaningful and useful content. So that platform, it's specifically for Chinese students, especially, we're trying to grow the high school market. That's absolutely I think so far, the most effective new platform that we're experimenting. And the other ones are community-based. So for example, the Korean community, I know that they're using it's a website. I think it's called Cafe Bon. Maybe I pronounced it's a little bit weird. It's called Cafe Bon. The Korean, immigrants or like newcomers, they just gather together in that community, the website, and they ask a lot of questions, especially study, live here in Canada. And we can get some traffic from this community-based website too. I'm sure like Nigerian students are also having a special sort of community-based tool that we're still discovering. And for example, Latin American students may behave differently. So that's another thing that we continue to experiment and learn. Prem, you on mute.
I'm on mute. I swear I've done this before. So Lily and Nana, if you have any insight in terms of, niche marketing or opportunities to connect with schools, it seems like you're doing a lot of work with sort of, current students, the school divisions as well, but any other sort of activities or marketing that you're doing?
Oh, we do notice many of our agents, even offshore agents, they either have their headquarters in Canada or they have an office in Canada, many of our offshore agents. So we do hold seminars in GTA, and also we invite agents over to visit us, and we do a campus tour for our students who are interested to visit Berry. It's not only to our campus, because GT Toronto is so famous, and students, they don't need to have a tour. They've been there, they know that. But Berry is pretty new to many students, and it's the first time they've ever heard of our name. So we look at ourselves more like an ambassador of City of Berry, and bringing more residents to Berry. So that's what we do. And Nana is doing most of the visiting, agents job in GTA.
Yeah, for me, I'm mostly taking care of non-Georgian College students. So mostly I visit language school, high school in Toronto, and talk to students directly and give presentation and some information about Georgian College. I know, after COVID, everything online, and which is great, but I still think it's also important to connect with the student in person and talk to students. And because I have experience as an international student at Georgian College, I always kind of trying to share my own experience instead of just telling, oh, Georgian College is great, you have to come. Instead, I try to tell, my story, my experience at Georgian College, and why I recommend to come to Georgian.
So we're just about 4 minutes left. I think we've got time for one last question here. So I think this one is geared towards Amy, but question was coming through anonymous saying, usually most of the conversation become very Ontario, BC centric. So how does IDP Canada help give other province options to onshore students? There are great options in the Prairie and Atlantic provinces. I'm based in Winnipeg, so I'll second that. And just before you jump in, Amy, I think a good opportunity is really engaging with the onshore team. We'd be happy to facilitate meetings and connecting you with Amy's team to learn more about your specific institution. And I think the more we know about the opportunities for students, the better equipped our counselors are to advise and kind of speak to students.
That's a really good question. And also this is exactly what we are trying to, expand our I guess the horizon of the counseling team. So at the same time of our webinar today, we actually are having another webinar focusing on Atlantic provinces programs. So in partnership with our immigration partner, so we're doing the Atlantic provinces, programs for the students. And there's actually going to be a series of like this webinars. Next one would be like Alberta, and the very next one would be your region, Manitoba, Saskatchewan as well. So yes, we do realize there's lots of untapped areas that our counselors will continue to learn, and making sure that we are able to provide the best option to the students to suit their needs. Because again, Canada is so big, and there's lots of great opportunities. And like you mentioned, the question came, many of the conversation automatically will think about Canada, or, Ontario, even GTA or Vancouver, BC. There are just many other options out there. So we are, next 5 years, it is also one of the things that we're expanding geographically, and also making sure our counselors are equipped with the right knowledge to counsel our students. That really ties back to the points I was making, is really make sure that we meet as many schools in person as possible and visit campus as many as possible, and so that we're able to counsel students in a better way.
Excellent. So we are just about a minute away from time. So just want to take this opportunity to thank Lily and Nana for joining us. We really appreciate you joining our webinar, sharing insights. We'd be happy to share your contact information for any of the guests who joined us today, and Amy as well. Really appreciate the insights and sort of going through sort of the A to Z of onshore. We know it's a great opportunity, so we're really happy to meet. We will be attending CBIE. Amy will be at CBIE as well. So if anyone in attendance would like to meet with us, Amy's team specifically, we'd be happy to build, create those meetings moving forward. But again, thank you all for participating. Thanks for joining. We will be sending out a recording of this session. So check your inbox in the next week or so, and feel free to forward that to any colleagues you have at your institution. From IDP Canada and IDP Connect Canada, really want to say thanks to everybody, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Bram, Lily, Lana, and everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much.